I cheated on my husband for 4 years. He made me confess to our daughters in public. Can you even imagine losing everything? Your family, your friends, your entire life, all because of one terrible secret? I thought I could have it all. The stable marriage, the beautiful kids, and the thrilling secret life on the side. I thought I could, until my husband served up my betrayal as a birthday surprise in front of our 3 innocent daughters. The sheer, gut-wrenching horror of that moment, it still makes my blood run cold. Asterisk my husband, Tom, he's a high school history teacher. We'd been married for 16 years, together for 19. He's the kind of man who coaches Little League on weekends, never misses a parent-teacher conference. Stable. Predictable. Safe. I told myself that was the problem, you know? That his unwavering goodness, his reliability, had somehow become boring. We have 3 daughters, Emma, who's now 15, Grace, 13, and little Lily, 10. Those girls? They were Tom's entire world. He'd die for them without a second thought. I wish I'd remembered that before I destroyed their world. The affair started 4 years ago. It was at my company's annual conference. Tom was back home, doing parent-teacher conferences, being the amazing dad he always was. That's when I met Jason. He was a sales manager from our Dallas office, charming, confident, the kind of man who made you feel like you were the only person in the room. He bought me a drink at the hotel bar. We talked for hours, about work, about life, about how marriage, for some people, just gets too comfortable, and how comfortable can start to feel like boring. That night, he kissed me in the elevator. I kissed back. We slept together. And in his arms, I felt alive. Truly alive, in a way I hadn't felt in years. I told myself it was just a one-time thing. A conference hookup. It happens, right? I'd go home, be a better wife, and never think about it again. But Jason kept texting. He kept calling. He kept making me feel seen, desired, in a way Tom hadn't in years. And so, I kept responding. For 4 excruciating years, I lived a double life. Business trips that weren't really business trips. Late nights at the office that were actually hotel rooms. The lies piled up so high, I couldn't see over them anymore. Jason lived in Dallas. I was in Chicago. We'd meet once a month, sometimes twice, for long weekends when Tom thought I was at some training seminar. I'd come home smelling faintly of someone else's cologne, and Tom, he never suspected. He trusted me completely. God, that trust should have stopped me. It didn't. My daughters would ask where Mommy was going. I'd tell them work was busy, that I was working hard for our family, that I'd be home soon. Then I'd drive to the airport and fly to Dallas to sleep with a man who would never even meet my children. Tom, bless his heart, he'd send me photos while I was gone. The girls at soccer practice, movie nights, ice cream runs. Little, precious moments of the life I was abandoning. And I'd text back hearts and silly emojis while Jason was in the shower. I convinced myself I was compartmentalizing, that I could have both, the stability of Tom and the thrill of Jason. I told myself Tom would never find out, that I was being careful, that everyone deserved to feel desired. I told myself so many damn lies. My friends knew something was off. Rebecca, one of my closest, actually asked me directly, "Are you having an affair?" She said, "You're different. Distracted. You're missing the girls' events." What's going on? I just shrugged it off. Work stress. I'm fine. Are you sure? She pressed, because if something's happening with you and Tom. Nothing's happening, I snapped back. Everything's fine. She didn't believe me, but she didn't push. Looking back, I wonder if she knew, deep down, and just didn't want to be the one to blow up my perfect family facade. Social media made it all so easy too. I'd post photos of our family dinners, our weekend trips with Tom and the girls. Perfect wife. Perfect mother. Perfect life. And then, I'd DM Jason about when we could meet next. Around year 2, the girls started pulling away. Emma, especially. She'd ask why I missed her volleyball games. Why I wasn't at Grace's piano recital. Why Lily's teacher asked if everything was okay at home. I'd make excuses, promise to do better, then book another flight to Dallas. Around year 3, Tom started asking questions. Nothing accusatory, just concerned. "Are you okay?" You seem distant. I'd say, I'm fine, just tired from work. Maybe you should cut back, he'd suggest. Spend more time at home. We need the money, Tom, I'd retort. Someone has to advance their career. That was cruel. Tom made decent money. We were comfortable. I just wanted an excuse to keep traveling. He never pushed back. He just accepted my explanations and kept being the steady, reliable man I was so cruelly betraying. In year 4, Jason started talking about leaving his wife. About us being together for real. About me divorcing Tom and moving to Dallas. I panicked. Because I didn't want to leave Tom. I wanted both. The security of my marriage and the excitement of Jason. I can't leave my kids, I'd say. They could visit, he'd counter. Joint custody. People do it all the time. Tom would never agree to that. So don't tell him. Just file. You'll get half of everything. The fact that Jason was encouraging me to destroy my family should have been a screaming red flag. It wasn't. I just made excuses for him, like I made excuses for myself. Then, 3 months ago, Jason died. Car accident. Instant. He was driving home from meeting me at a hotel. We'd spent the afternoon together. He'd left at 6 p.m. to get home before his wife noticed. He never made it. I found out from his wife. She called my work number, the one Jason had saved under Chicago client. A cold, distant voice said, "This is Rachel, Jason's wife. He died last night. You were one of his last calls. I wanted to let you know." I sat at my desk, staring at my computer screen, feeling absolutely nothing, then everything. Jason was dead. The man I'd been sleeping with for 4 years. The man I'd destroyed my integrity for, gone. And in that moment, amongst the devastation, a dark, shameful wave of relief washed over me. It was over. No messy ending. No agonizing choice to make. Just done. I went to his funeral. Told Tom it was a work colleague. Stood in the back and watched his wife and kids grieve while I felt nothing but a hollow mix of guilt and relief. That should have been my wake-up call. The moment I confessed everything and begged Tom for forgiveness. Instead, I went home and pretended everything was fine. Better than fine, actually. I was attentive again. Present. Going to the girls' games. Having dinner with Tom. Being the wife and mother I should have been all along. Tom noticed. "You seem happier," he said, "less stressed." I lied. I realized I was focusing too much on work. Family's more important. He smiled. He kissed my forehead. He told me he was glad I'd figured it out. And I let him believe it. Let him think I'd just had a revelation instead of my affair partner dying. 2 months went by. I started to believe I'd gotten away with it. That Jason's death was a tragic, but incredibly convenient, end to a chapter one could now close forever. Then my birthday came. I turned 43 on a Saturday. Tom planned a family dinner. Nothing fancy, just us and the girls at our favorite Italian restaurant. I was excited. I truly thought, maybe this was it. A new beginning. A fresh start. We got to the restaurant, sat down, ordered appetizers. Then Tom looked at me. His face was calm. Too calm. He said, "Before we eat, Michelle has something she wants to tell everyone." My heart hammered. "Tom, what?" "Tell them," he repeated, his voice chillingly level. "Tell our daughters what you've been doing for the last 4 years." My blood ran cold. I don't know what you're talking about." "Yes, you do," he said, his eyes burning into mine. "Tell them about Jason. Tell them about Dallas. Tell them about every lie you've told for 4 years." Emma's eyes were wide with confusion. Grace looked utterly bewildered. Lily just stared at her plate, oblivious. "Tom, not here," I pleaded. "Not now. We can talk about this at home." "No," he said, his voice steel. "You wanted to celebrate your birthday with your family. So celebrate. But first, tell them the truth." "How did you?" I choked out. "Jason's wife found my number in his phone," he said, the words cutting me like knives. "She called me 2 weeks ago. Told me everything. Every trip, every lie, every time you chose him over us." The restaurant suddenly felt too small, too hot. I couldn't breathe. "I can explain." "Then explain to them." He gestured at our daughters. Explain to Emma why you missed her 8th grade graduation. Explain to Grace why you weren't at her first piano recital. Explain to Lily why her teacher thought something was wrong at home. Tears were streaming down my face. Tom, please. He just stared at me. Tell them or I will. I looked at my daughters. Emma was crying silently now. Grace looked horrified. Lily looked utterly lost. I made a mistake, I whispered, the words barely audible. I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. Emma's voice, small and broken, asked, "What did you do?" I had an affair with someone from work. It's over now. He died. I'm so sorry. Grace, tears now flowing freely, demanded, "For how long?" I couldn't answer. How long, Michelle? Tom's voice was ice. For years. Emma stood up, pushing her chair back with a scrape. You've been cheating on Dad for 4 years while lying to us? It wasn't like that. What was it like? Grace wailed, crying openly now. You were just gone all the time. We thought you were working. You were with him. I'm sorry, I sobbed. I'm so sorry. I love you all so much. You're a liar. Emma's voice was pure venom, laced with pain. You lied to all of us for years. Tom stood up. Girls, get your coats. We're leaving. What? I gasped, utterly stunned. No, it's my birthday. We're supposed to have dinner. He looked at me with an expression of cold, righteous fury I will never forget. You don't get to have dinner with us. You don't get to celebrate anything. You destroyed this family. Now you get to sit with that. Tom, please, I begged, don't do this in front of them. You did this in front of them, he countered, his voice shaking with restrained anger. Every time you lied. Every time you left. Every time you chose him over them. This is your choice. Live with it. He walked away. My daughters followed. Emma looked back once, her eyes filled with a raw, burning hatred. I hate you, she mouthed. Then they were gone. I sat there, utterly alone at the table, while other families ate and laughed around me. The waiter, oblivious, brought out a birthday cake. Happy birthday, he said, placing it in front of me. 43 candles. A family that had just walked out. A marriage that was over. This was my birthday. This was what I'd earned. That was 3 months ago. I'm still in the guest bedroom. Tom filed for divorce 2 weeks after my birthday. His lawyer sent me the papers at work, in front of my colleagues. The humiliation was intentional, and it worked. The divorce wasn't contested. Tom got primary custody. I got supervised visitation twice a month. He got the house. I get to find somewhere else to live. He got our daughters. I get to watch them grow up from the outside. The custody hearing was brutal. Tom's lawyer had everything. Flight records showing my trips to Dallas. Credit card statements from hotels. Text messages Jason's wife had found and forwarded to Tom. For years of evidence. For years of lies. All presented in a courtroom while a judge decided if I deserved to even see my own children. My lawyer tried to argue I was a good mother, that one mistake shouldn't cost me my kids. Tom's lawyer pulled up Emma's therapy records. She'd been seeing a counselor for anxiety. Started right around the time my affair began. Grace's school records showed declining grades and attendance issues. Teachers noted she seemed distracted and withdrawn. Lily's pediatrician had documented concerns about emotional regulation and attachment issues. All 3 of my daughters had been suffering for years while I was in Dallas, pretending I could have both. The judge looked at me with sheer disgust. Mrs. Peterson, your choices have demonstrably harmed your children. I'm granting Mr. Peterson primary physical custody. You'll have supervised visitation twice monthly pending evaluation. Supervised visitation. Like I was a danger to my own kids. Maybe I was. My first supervised visit was at a family services center. A woman named Karen sat in the corner, taking notes, while I tried desperately to talk to my daughters. Emma refused to come. Tom said she had a panic attack when she found out I'd be there. Her therapist said forcing her would be harmful. So, it was just Grace and Lily, sitting across from me in a sterile room with toys for younger children and a woman documenting every word. Hi, girls, I managed, my voice trembling. I missed you. Lily looked at her shoes. Grace stared blankly at the wall. How's school? How are your friends? Nothing. I brought some books. I thought maybe we could read together. Grace finally spoke, her voice flat. We read with Dad now. He has time for us. The implication was clear. I didn't. I know I messed up, I whispered, tears welling again. I know I hurt you. But I love you so much. You don't love us, Lily's tiny voice cut through me. You left us for him. That's not true. I never stopped loving you. Then why did you leave all the time? Why did you miss everything? I didn't have an answer. Because the crushing truth was, I did choose Jason over them, every single time. The hour ended. Karen walked them out. They didn't hug me. Didn't say goodbye. Just left. Karen pulled me aside. Mrs. Peterson, she said gently, I need to be honest. Your daughters are experiencing significant trauma from your infidelity. Grace's therapist has recommended limiting contact until she's more stable. Lily's teacher says she's having nightmares. What kind of nightmares? I asked, my voice cracking. About you leaving and not coming back. My own daughter was having nightmares about me. About the very thing I'd actually done. I'm trying to make this right. Karen's gaze was pitying. With respect, you can't. You can only try not to make it worse. The next supervised visit, only Lily came. Grace was in therapy. Emma was still refusing. Lily sat on the opposite side of the room, wouldn't look at me. Lily, sweetheart, I pleaded. Can we talk? Her small voice was firm. Dad says I have to be here, but I don't have to talk to you. I understand you're angry, I tried. You have every right. I'm not angry, she said, finally looking up, her eyes dull. I'm sad. You made Dad cry. You made Emma sick. You made Grace scared all the time. I never meant, you did it anyway. She was 9 years old. And she'd summarized my entire pathetic defense in 4 devastating words. You did it anyway. Work became unbearable. Everyone knew. Jason's wife had contacted HR before she contacted Tom, wanting to file a complaint about our relationship violating company policy. HR investigated. They found that while Jason and I worked for the same company, we were in different divisions and cities. No direct report relationship. Nothing technically wrong, but morally, completely wrong. My colleagues stopped inviting me to lunch. Meetings got awkward. My boss started CCing HR on every email. I quit before they could fire me. Couldn't handle the stares, the whispers, the chilling knowledge that everyone knew what I'd done. I'm working retail now. $23 an hour at a department store. A dramatic step down from my corporate marketing job. But no one there knows my story. I'm just another middle-aged woman folding clothes and smiling weakly at customers. My friends disappeared. Rebecca, who'd asked if I was having an affair 2 years ago, sent one last text. I knew something was wrong. I should have pushed harder. But honestly, I can't be around someone who'd do what you did. I have kids too. I can't explain to them why Aunt Michelle isn't around anymore without telling them the truth. And I won't do that to them. I'm sorry. She wasn't sorry. She was doing what I should have done years ago, protecting her children. My book club dropped me without explanation. Just stopped sending meeting notifications. My tennis group found a new fourth. Even my hairdresser started being fully booked when I called. I'm completely alone. My parents are devastated. Ashamed. My mother asked how I could do this to Tom, to the girls, to our family. I don't understand, she wept. Tom is a good man. Those girls adored you. How could you throw it all away? I don't know, Mom, I said, numb. I just did. That's not an answer. She was right. It wasn't. But I didn't have a better one. My father hasn't spoken to me since the divorce was filed. Tom is like a son to him. The girls are his whole world. I chose Jason over all of them, and my own father can't forgive me for it. I moved into a studio apartment. All I could afford on my retail salary and the pittance I got from the divorce settlement. Tom got the house because the girls needed stability. I got enough to start over. Except I'm not starting over. I'm just existing. The apartment is silent. No sounds of the girls arguing over the remote. No Tom humming while he makes coffee. No family dinners or movie nights or lazy Sundays. Just silence. I checked Tom's social media through a fake account he hasn't blocked yet. He posts photos of the girls. Emma made honor roll. Grace won her piano competition. Lily scored her first soccer goal. All the moments I'm missing. All the life going on without me. In one photo, they're at the beach. All four of them smiling. Genuinely smiling. They look happy. Happier than when I was there. Because I wasn't there. I was in Dallas. And even when I was physically present, I was mentally checked out. Tom started dating 6 weeks after the divorce was finalized. Her name is Amanda. She's a third-grade teacher. Kind eyes, warm smile. The girls post about her. Amanda took us to the zoo today. She's so nice. Amanda gets to do what I should have done. Be present. Be there. Be the mother figure my daughters desperately need. And I'm in a studio apartment, folding clothes at a department store. Last month was Emma's 15th birthday. I wasn't invited to the party. Wasn't even told about it until I saw photos online. Emma, Grace, Lily, Tom, Amanda, all smiling. Cake and presents and joy. Everything I used to have. Everything I traded for hotel rooms in Dallas. I sent Emma a text. Happy birthday, sweetheart. I love you. I'm so proud of you. She didn't respond. 3 days later, Tom texted, Emma asked me to tell you not to contact her directly anymore. All communication goes through me. Respect that. My daughter doesn't want to hear from me. Not even on her birthday. I tried calling Tom to plead my case, to ask for one more chance, to explain that I've changed. He picked up. What do you want, Michelle? I just want to talk to the girls, I stammered to explain. You explained on your birthday, in front of them, he cut in, his voice hard. Remember? That was cruel, Tom. I cried. You've humiliated me in public. You've humiliated yourself for 4 years, he said, his voice flat. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. They're my daughters, too. No, he snapped, they're my daughters. You gave up that right when you chose Jason over them. Every trip, every lie, every missed event, you chose him. He's dead, Tom. It's over. I'm trying to make amends. You can't make amends for this, he said, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. You can show up to your supervised visits and be grateful you get that much. But you don't get to call them. You don't get to text them. You don't get to pretend you're their mother when it's convenient. I am their mother. You were their mother, he corrected, the words a final, crushing blow. Now you're the woman who destroyed their family. That's all you'll ever be to them. He hung up. I sat on my apartment floor and cried until I couldn't breathe. Because he was right. I'm not their mother anymore. I'm the cautionary tale they'll tell their friends. The reason they'll have trust issues. The example of what not to do. I ran into Rebecca at the grocery store last week. She saw me. And she turned around. Literally turned her cart around and went the other way. I wanted to chase her, to explain, to apologize. But what would I even say? That I'm sorry I lied for 4 years? That I'm sorry I destroyed my family? That I'm sorry I chose excitement over everything real? She already knows that. Everyone knows that. And sorry doesn't fix anything. I work. I sleep. I go to my supervised visits twice a month where my daughters barely acknowledge I exist. This is my life now. I saw Tom and Amanda at a school function last month. Emma's volleyball game. I wasn't invited, but it was public, so I showed up, sat in the back. I watched my daughter play while Tom and Amanda sat together, cheering, looking like a family. Emma saw me after the game. Her face fell. She walked over, her eyes cold. Why are you here? I wanted to see you play. You were amazing. You don't get to do this, she said, her voice tight with suppressed anger. You don't get to show up and pretend you care. I do care. I've always cared. No, you didn't, she shot back, her voice rising. You cared about him. About Dallas. About your affair. You didn't care about us. That's not true. Yes, it is. And everyone knows it. So, stop showing up. Stop trying. Just stop. She walked away. Back to Tom and Amanda. Back to her real family. And I drove home alone to my studio apartment and finally accepted the truth. I don't get to come back from this. I don't get redemption or forgiveness or a second chance. I get supervised visits twice a month. I get to watch my daughters grow up from the outside. I get to see Tom build a new family with someone who actually deserves him. And I get to live with knowing I caused all of it. People ask me sometimes if I regret the affair. I tell them yes, but that's not the whole truth. The whole truth is I regret getting caught. I regret Jason dying and forcing me to face what I'd been doing. I regret my birthday dinner where Tom made me confess. But do I regret the affair itself? The 4 years of excitement and attention and feeling alive? I really should. But some dark, shameful part of me still doesn't. And that's the most terrifying truth of all. I traded my family for excitement. I lost both. And a part of me still remembers how good the lie felt before it all collapsed. That's what I can't say to my therapist, to my parents, to anyone. That I'm not sure I learned the lesson I was supposed to learn. Just that I learned to hide it better next time. Except there won't be a next time, because no one wants the woman who cheated on her husband for 4 years and destroyed her family. I'm 43 years old, working retail, living alone, seeing my daughters twice a month under supervision, watching my ex-husband build a better life with someone better, and knowing I have no one to blame but myself. If you're hearing this and you're thinking about having an affair, about choosing excitement over stability, about lying to your family because you think you can have both, please, just stop. What would you have done if you were in my shoes before it all fell apart? Or, if you've been on the other side of something like this, what was your experience? Tell me what you think. I really want to know.